With Abdulfattah Adeyemi, you unlock a world of wisdom, growth, and connection. It's time to live, love, learn, and build a better world together. Be inspired. Be motivated. Edit your universe.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My name is Abdulfattah Adeyemi. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We are grateful to Almighty Allah for the blessing of another day. May Almighty Allah increase our iman, increase our blessings. Today we want to talk about advice on seeking advice. Thus, we want to give advice on how to seek advice. Advice on seeking advice. So it's the topic, advice on seeking advice. Now, we are not going to only talk about how to seek advice, we are also going to talk about how to give advice. And inshallah, we'll get to see some of the things we need to understand with regards to this very aspect of a human life, very important aspect of a human existence, advice, An-Naseehah, advice. And there are many verses of the Qur'an that talk about advice. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Ad-Deen An-Naseehah. This deen of Islam itself completely is a religion of advice. Everything about Islam is advice. Good, beautiful advice. Some people got good advice in their lives. Some people didn't get good advice in their lives. And whoever had been advised appropriately, that one is the most fortunate of all human beings on earth. Because nobody can know it all. For a person to be successful in life, there are so many things that will happen to you. There are so many advice you need to seek, and you need to seek certain advice at the right time. If you do not seek advice when it was right, the advice may come late or it may never come at all. That is why we must appreciate the people that Allah has put around us. Some of us have been so lucky that we have good people around us to advise us. Some people give us cheery smile by being around us. That is, they were very cheerful towards us. They take time to chat with us. They take time to discuss with us. Sometimes we are validated. That means they tell us that yes, you are doing it right. Yes, it is okay. Yes, it is good. Sometimes they encourage us. They say, I don't feel discouraged. Try and do it like this. Try and do it like that. Just stay where you are. Everything will be all right. Some of them, they didn't solve our problems, but because they were around us as good advisors, we were able to empty our chest to them. We were able to clear our heads in their presence. Some of us were able to cry while talking to them, and at the end of the cry, our minds were at rest. Special thanks to Allah, and may Allah bless such people in our lives who were around us at one point or the other when we needed somebody to complain to, when we needed somebody to cry to, when we needed a shoulder to cry on, when we needed just somebody to hear our own side of the story. These are the people that Allah could have put around us as advisors. May Allah bless those who never say, but you told me that story twice already. Yes, there are some people that will not complain. But why do you keep complaining about they will not say that? Each time you see them, you remember your problem. You complain to them, they will listen. You come again, you complain to them, they will listen. They will never be tired of listening to you. Blessed are those who Allah has given such opportunities of human beings that will come around them, and you will not be ashamed of explaining yourself. You will not be ashamed that they are going to say you are stupid for your wrong choices. They will not criticize you, and they will not be judgmental. May Allah bless those who know the ways to bring back good memories of yesterday in our lives. You know, these are the people that remind you that you are greater than what you think you are. They are the people that when you say you need that advice, they will remind you of your potentials. They will tell you, yes, you can do it better than this. They will tell you that, look, you are a crocodile. Why are you behaving like a lizard? They will tell you that, look, you are a whale. Why are you behaving like a catfish? They will remind you of where you are coming from. They will remind you of how intelligent you are supposed to be, and they also remind you that you are a human being. They will tell you that, look, you can't get it right every time. You are a human being. We are bound to make errors. We are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to make wrong choices. There are some people like that who, Allahu Akbar, they come around us and they use words to bring us out of our pity pit. You know, sometimes when you just feel like organizing a pity party for yourself, you know what I mean by pity party? Yeah, where friends will come around, they will say, hey, yeah, sorry, hey, oh, subhanallah, it's a kind of party where you don't serve food, you don't serve minerals, you don't serve anything, there's no souvenir, but hey, yeah, sorry. Sometimes when you feel like organizing pity party like that, we have some genuine advisors that will come around and say, look, you are not so bad. They'll tell you that you have not done so badly now. Then they will make you to dust yourself up, and then you get up from the dust, and then you move on with your life. You come outside and you begin to glow because somebody spoke, Allahu Akbar, somebody spoke smooth words, soothing words that will balm our wounds, smoothing words that will nurse us back to life. Some people just make those statements and we are so encouraged, we are so enlivened, because we have them as good advice. May Allah bless those good advisors who make us know that we are loved, who make us know that we are respected, who make us know that we are not alone. If you say something is bothering your mind, they'll make you understand, look, you are not alone. That's what is happening generally. And then instead of feeling dejected, you become happy with yourself. May Allah bless those advisors who look away when we make mistakes. When coffee is spilled on the table, they looked away as if they didn't see it, so that you don't feel bad with yourself. When you make some very terrible mistakes, they shrug it off and pretend as if it didn't happen, so that you don't feel bad with yourself, so that you don't so that nothing will happen to your self-esteem. They guarded your self-esteem, they protected your self-esteem, they overlook your errors, they don't condemn you, and they are not judgmental. They don't want to judge. They say, how can you do this? They don't say, are you so stupid? They don't say, what are you thinking? They don't say such things. May Allah bless those who seem to know that our eyes are dim. Some people will look at your countenance and say, you look sad, what happened? Somebody will see that your movements are slow. They'll say, but what's happening to your mood today? Some good advisors that you didn't tell them what happened to you, but they know it when something has happened to you. You didn't invite them to come and talk about your matter, but they will come to you and say, tell me what is disturbing your mind. They notice your tones of voice. They notice you are hiding something. They notice something was bothering your mind, and they come around and they sat down and they brought it out from you, and you cried it out in their presence, and they made you to wipe your tears, and before they left your presence, you began to smile again, because now your chest has been very, very light. May Allah bless those people that Allah put around us. Some of them will notice that we are not in good shape. Some of them will notice that we are not on the right track. They understand your faltering steps. They offer supporting words that will bring you back to life. It is this golden advice that seem to have brought light to our lives. Some of us were living in the dark until somebody showed up and showed us the way. They told us, why are you so stunted? You are supposed to grow. They tell us, why are you here? They say, what are you doing in this place? It is their advice, Allahu Akbar Kabira, it's their advice that made us understand that we are not in the right place. They are the one who said, look, what is an earthworm doing in a plate of spaghetti? They are the ones who ask us that question. That you are an earthworm. They understand that if you find earthworm in a plate of spaghetti, something is wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. They say, now condition make crayfish bend. They know that this your situation is condition, is something that drag you. Unless somebody put worm inside plate of spaghetti, do you think a worm will be stupid to be crawling to where spaghetti is? Do they resemble? Okay, they resemble, right? But one is alive, one is not alive. Now if they see a worm going to where spaghetti is, they know that worm has been deceived by somebody or some people. They know that some people are fooling you, but they will not allow you to go astray. They will come around and they will guide you. In fact, sometimes you follow them blindly and alhamdulillah, your life is better for it. We give thanks to Allah for such friends, good advisors. There are some people, they are where they are today because of bad advice. Because some people gave them bad advice when they were to make important decisions in their lives. One small bad advice has tampered with somebody else's destiny. Where a person is supposed to be, wrong advice has made him to go far from the place. Imagine, you are supposed to be going to the east. Somebody advised to go to the west. The more you go to the west, the farther you are from the east. And some people spend the whole of their life traveling towards the west. And by the time they got to the west, they discovered they were supposed to be in the east. Now it became too late for them to make a U-turn and move back to where they are supposed to be. Somebody has tampered with their destiny. And some people eventually make the U-turn, but before they get to where they were supposed to go, it was already very late. At what o'clock? At very old age. Somebody retired at the age of 65. It is then that he now realized that he was supposed to have been a tailor instead of being a civil servant. Allahu Akbar. It is after somebody's retirement that he realized that he was supposed to be a successful farmer, but he doesn't have energy to farm anymore. Is then all the ideas now started coming back because somebody now said, but what have you been wasting your life upon? But you have the gift to buy and sell. What are you doing in civil service? Some of you, there's nothing you cannot sell. But because somebody advised you when you finish school that you should go and get a job in so and so ministry, after you have spent 30 years in that ministry, you now realize that anything you carry like this, people say how much. If you hold a barrel like this, you say who wants to buy? 15 people will say they want to buy. Then you realize that but why didn't I start business right from time? Anytime people need something, they will call and say, Salam alaikum, do you have bag? Do you have shoes? Do you have this one? You will be like, but I'm just a civil servant now. Somebody advised you wrongly when you finish school. They said go and look for a job instead of asking you to go and start a business. By now, you and Dangote should be holding meetings together now. In other words, some people got to where they are today because of bad advice, wrong advice. I'm going to give us some examples of bad advice as we move along. So some of us will not be where we are now, if not that some people offered us good advice at every stage of our lives, every stage of our existence. It's a great opportunity to have received advice from our families, some of our family members, maybe an uncle or an aunt somewhere, or some of our friends, good friends. They'll say, my friend, what are you doing today? Okay, follow me somewhere, let's go somewhere. And that somewhere that you went to, that is where Allah buttered your bread. Good friends. Sometimes good colleagues in the offices, sometimes good mentors. People that we look ahead to, some people that we admire a lot. Some of them will advise us and everything will just fall in place. I remember I had the best advice of my life from my teachers. My teachers. Maybe that's why I decided that I want to be a teacher in life, because I saw a lot of mentoring or mentorship, a lot of opportunities and the advantage of coming close to my teachers. So they told me a lot of things. Where they failed, they told me. Where they succeeded, they told me. What they go through as teachers, they told me. The joy of teaching, they told me. So I felt, yes, I want to teach too. Allahu Akbar. And Alhamdulillah. Well, some of you are into other things. Some of you are into IT, like you. Into IT, you are a doctor. Everybody with what Allah has decided for them, but advisors. Those who advised us, some people advised us correctly. That is why we got it right. Sometimes advice from experts, and sometimes, I don't know if it is at all times, but sometimes from our spouses. For those of you who are married, should a man take advice from his wife? I'm asking now. Once in a while. Not at all time. Should a wife take advice from the husband? Once in a while, not at all time. Or every time, 24/7. Allah knows best. Sometimes couples are good advice to one another. Sometimes they are bad advisors to one another. Sometimes they give good advice, sometimes they don't give good advice. Sometimes advice are tainted and stained with desires, with ignorance, sometimes with selfishness, sometimes with a person's own baggage or a person's own experience, good or bad. May Allah have mercy on us. But from the knowledge of these people, from the knowledge, from the wisdom, from the experiences of our mentors, our teachers, our friends, our families, our colleagues, they have offered us valuable suggestions and insights towards success in our relationship. Remember when you wanted to get married, I'm sure you asked somebody, should I say yes? Should I say no? Should I marry him? Should I not marry her? Should I agree? Should I not agree? We quarreled yesterday. Should I apologize? He said I should come and see his mother. Should I go? They said so and so thing to me. Should I believe it? There were friends. Can you remember? Can you remember? Can any of you remember? There were some friends then. Maybe you wouldn't have married this person you married now if not for some friends who said, Haba, it's not that bad now. He may not have money today, you will have money tomorrow. Yes, when they said that, you say, okay, let me try. If not, most of us brothers were not qualified to marry some of you ladies. Honestly, I'm telling you this one. If you see my wife, tell them. Some of us were not qualified. But some of your friends will say, but it's not that bad though. But you said he went to school. Now if he doesn't have job today, he will have job tomorrow. Just manage him like that. Just be patient. Well, conversely too, yes, conversely, some of us, if not for our friends that say, that baby is not bad though. It's not bad. Oh, she likes money too much. Why are you complaining that she likes money? Pray that Allah should give you money so that you have more than she can spend. Maybe some of our friends told us that one, then some people just put their head pump like that. So some marriages like this, you can't say whether they are paradise or they are hell. But somebody pushed you to it. By now, some of you are praying for those who brought you together, and by now some people are cursing those who brought them together. It depends on advice. Who advised you? So in terms of relationship, some people advised us with wisdom, with knowledge and experience. Some people in terms of our careers, what job should we do? In terms of education, what subject should I choose? What course should I study in school? Okay, I've been in school now. What next? Should I do my masters? Should I go ahead? Should I look for a job? Should I do this? Should I do that? Some people advised us. Then in financial matters, sometimes one will be so broke you don't even know what to do with yourself. Let me point it to you. I don't know if you believe it too. So many people are poor today because there was nobody to advise them or what to do. Do you agree with me? So many people are so poor today, and if Allah wills, they may be poor till they die, because from the onset in their lives there was nobody to give them good advice on what they can do to make meaning out of their lives. Some people are very rich today because one person just showed up somewhere and advised him. One person just showed up and said, there's this somebody I know. Why don't we go and meet the person, if whether he can give us a job or whether he can tell us what to do? And then you go and you get there and the person say, it's not a problem now, go and bring your application. Or some people will say, look, sorry, there's no job for you. I advise you not to even apply for any job. Go and be doing business. Some of those advice were very painful. Very painful. Someone say, look, who do you think you are? You want to work with us? I beg you, go and look for business to do. You say, me, they say I'm not qualified. You feel very bad. Maybe you attended a job interview, they didn't pick you and you are feeling sad. One friend said, what are you feeling sad about? Forget it. Are they the only place of work in the world? I beg, bone them, look for another thing to do. In fact, don't even look for any, come and be staying with me in my shop. You be like, me, a graduate, stay in somebody's shop. But that would have been the best advice in your life, because many people started like that. I heard of one very big man, I can't remember the name, who they told us that he was just selling sweet and biscuit as a gate man to somebody. He died as a multi-millionaire. If somebody had told him then that, you do megadi for somebody, no, don't do it. He would just be running from pillar to post. But maybe he asked somebody else, they say, you don't have anything, but be managing here by this gate now. Be opening gate for them, be doing security man. After someone said, but people like to buy sweet and biscuit, why don't you start selling? Then he listened to the advice. And from there, he became so big a businessman that he went into carpets and rugs. And we still know him with it now, even though he's late. Allahu Akbar Kabira. Then in health matters, health issues, we got some people to advise us on what to do. We will have been dead by now. But some people said, don't do this, don't eat that. As experts, legal matters, legal issues. So many people will have been in prison by now, if not that some legal people came around and said, no. Don't say that, don't do that. This is what to do. Then spiritual matters. Scholars who advise us about our deens. Some of us would not be in Islam by now. If not that at a point in time, some scholars showed up in our lives and they advised us on how to increase our iman. Alhamdulillah for all of that. With the advice, so many failures have been avoided, so many disappointments have been averted. We are able to objectively determine our growth and progress in life, and their opinions helped to shed more light on the dark areas of our thoughts, dark areas of our lives. Things that you never have imagined, if not that somebody suggested it to you. Where we will have fallen, their counsels have kept us standing. Where we will have run into dangers, their warnings objectively beckon us to safety. Wise counsels have freed us from paralyzing fears. Something we will have been so afraid of. Wise advice have freed us from fear because we knew what to do. From agonizing anxieties, to be so anxious that you are restless, good advice has calmed us down, and then overwhelming burdens have been removed. When some people came around and advised us, this is what you should do. This one that you are always suffering every time to pay school fees, suffering every time to pay house rent, why don't you do this business? And lo and behold, you listen to this advice and then your life is better for it. In fact, you want to pay 1 year ahead of your children's school fees. That's a very nice dream, isn't it? Allahu Akbar Kabira. Now, even as you progress, you see that they found a way of encouraging us on. They found a way of letting us know what and what we should do. But let me ask you now, I hope you all know that going to seek advice is not a problem. You should be proud of yourself when you get up to go and look for advice. It is nothing demeaning. It doesn't show that you are stupid. Rather, it shows that you are courageous and you are smart. Only smart people know their limitations and they go seek advice from those who know better than them. Fas'alu ahla dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. Quran says, ask those who know if you don't know. And then wa fawqa kulli dhi ilmin alimun. More learned than anybody with knowledge is somebody who knows better. The day a person thinks he knows it all, that is the peak of that person's ignorance. What has made some people to fail in life is that they are too proud to go and seek advice. They be like, me, ask advice from this. What does he know? They be like, me, ask advice from a small child. Well, I'm 15 years older than this person. What can he possibly tell me? Pride, arrogance, and ignorance make some people to wallow for long. They will be doing wrong thing, thinking that it is right. Wrong things, thinking that it is right, but it is not right. It's because they are so reluctant and they think they are too proud, they are too learned to seek advice. That's why some people are failing today, as you see them so. That's why they are failing. In fact, Allahu Akbar, they'll be like, why should I go and seek advice from a nanny, from a house help? I know many people who what contribute to their success in their marriages today was because they dared, they were so courageous to ask even their house help for advice. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. People don't look down on anyone. They say, look, come, this thing is disturbing my mind, what do you think I should do? And the house girl will just speak 1 or 2 sentences, says, okay, you already grasped the password to what has been disturbing your life. It happens. It happens. Some CEOs, while their drivers are driving, they say, look, Adamu, what do you think about this matter? Adamu say, Oga, if not me, Anybody waited, then he will go on and on. Then the guy will say, okay, it's all right. Come face your front to watch the traffic light. Whereas he has grasped. You have to be very smart before you know that you should seek advice. And nobody's advice is wasted. It depends on what you are looking for. Allahu Akbar. May Allah have mercy on us. Let me quickly mention this. Everybody need advice. So no matter how learned you are, no matter your knowledge, experience, companies, they need advice. They have legal advisors. They have financial advisors. They have auditing advisors, whatever they call them. In fact, I know of some companies who have doctors as part of the advisors, medical doctors. They have environmentalists as the advisors. They say, in this factory, what should we do so that our staff will not die? I know of a company who have psychologists as part of the advisors. Okay, how do we satisfy this staff so that they don't revolt? Sometimes they use it wrongly, sometimes they use it rightly, sometimes they use it to cheat their staff, and sometimes they use it to get the best from their staff. And that's why suddenly during the naming ceremony of one of their staff, the CEO, the boss will just show up, and the staff will be like, my oga came. That staff will never resign, because he feels, my oga came to my naming ceremony, and even that we thought he was very stingy. See, he put something in the envelope for me. How much did he put? Say, I won't tell you. You see, these are the things. Governments, they have special advisors. Remember, plenty special advisors. Now tell me, who is it that doesn't need advisor? As an individual, you need advisors, either official advisors, or once in a while, people that you just approach amongst your friends, amongst people around. In so many things, you need advice. Husband needs advice from the wife. Wife needs advice from the husband. Remember Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who sought advice from one of his wives, Salma, and her advice was very, very good, and he followed it. So if the prophet could seek advice from even his wife, then if you have a smart and intelligent woman, you can always seek her advice. There's nothing wrong with that. When you want to marry a second wife, will you seek her advice? I'm asking brothers now. Now, sisters, do you want the husband to seek your advice if he wants to marry another wife? Yes or no? There's nothing like yes and no. It has to be one. He now say, Umu, salamu alaikum. I need your advice on this thing. There's this lady that she be like, lady that what? There's this lady, she normally comes to our office, she wears hijab like that, she's very nice, pretty lady. And I just found out now that she's single. Can I marry her? What advice are you going to give your husband, honestly? I hope you are not going to advise him wrongly. Yes, I know of a man like that who saw the wife's advice when the woman said, well, alhamdulillah, I feel honored that you brought this matter before me, but you see, why don't you wait a little? I'm pregnant now. When I deliver my baby, then you can go ahead, master. Thank you very much. Thank you. When she delivered the baby, what of it? She said, why don't you hold on a bit? Let your financial situation get better. So that inshallah, what is there? What is after all? It is halal in Islam. It's allowed for you to marry. Now, I'm not against it though, but just hold on a bit. It will not be nice if you marry a woman and then she has to suffer. Okay, thank you very much for the advice. Then after about 2 years, what of that matter? Okay, that matter the other time. You know how much school fees are now? Since you know that you have already started a building, why don't you finish your house? So that you put us both inside the house. You want to be paying house rent for me, pay house rent for her. It will be too much on you, my husband. Just take it easy. When you finish your house, inshallah. So when it was getting to like 5 years, the man's house didn't complete. He now came again and said, but as the house has not completed now, even the lady agreed that she will rent house by herself. She said, Abba, my husband, you want to be under a woman? You want to be living in her own house? You don't even, where's your pride? You don't even have a pride anymore. You want to live in a house where it's the wife that is paying the house rent while he has to be la. Then the man just feel like, but wait to. Wahala. Allah Akbar. Well, what will you advise the man to do? If the man now comes to tell you that, see what I've been going through, what would you tell him to do? Good advice. What would you tell him? And you say you should follow the woman's advice. You must be her friend. You must be that woman's friend. Well, I don't know, but you know, one thing is that some advice are, beware. I'm going to tell you who to ask advice from. But please, I can't do that without sharing this verse of the Quran with you. Providing advice, like I told you earlier on, that is Islam. You know what the Quran says? The Quran says, Kuntum khayru ummatin ukhrijat linas. Quran chapter 3, verse 110. 3110. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minuna billah. You are the best. You are the best of peoples ever raised up for mankind. Why? Because you enjoin al-ma'ruf. You enjoy what is good, and you forbid al-munkar. That is, you forbid what is bad, what is evil. Whatever Islam has forbidden, you forbid it. Whatever Islam has encouraged, you encourage it. That makes all of you to be people of advice, because you are the best ever evolved for mankind. The fact that you give advice for others, that's what makes your Islam to be best. And that's why we said, the Prophet said, Ad-dinu Naseehah. The Quran also says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, you believe, Ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Save yourselves and your families from hellfire. Waquduha an-nas wal hijara. The hellfire that it is mankind and stones that are used in kindling it, and so on and so forth. You see that Quran chapter 66 verse 6. Allah says, save yourself and your family. How do you do that? By speaking to them, by advising them, by admonishing them. Even when there is problem in marriage, the Quran says, وَاللَّاتِ تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنَّ فَعِذُوهُنَّ وَاهْجُرُوهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ. That any of your wives that you fear nushuz from her path, فَعِذُوهُنَّ, advise them. Advise them. Talk to her. My darling, this thing you are doing, I don't feel comfortable about it. I don't really like it that you do like this, and I don't like this, I don't like this. Advise her. Don't just complain. This is the problem. This is where couples get it wrong now. Couples like to complain, but they don't like to advise one another. Like a woman will complain, but she doesn't have any solution. The man will say, but what do you want me to do? She say, go and think about it. That's your headache. That is where problem comes. But because the woman doesn't have any advice, the man will look for advice outside the house. And you know what happens when somebody advises and the advice works? You begin to like the person. Incidentally, if care is not taken, it may be another lady outside that's advising him. I know many men like that. They are best friends. Their best advisors are outside the marriage, and they are ladies. And this lady will say, but why is your wife behaving towards you? And say, I don't know for how. Is that one that will say, okay, why don't you do like this, do like this, do like this, do like this? The man will try that to work. It works the other way around too. So many ladies, the best advice they have are not their husbands. They are outside the marriage. And those ones will be objective enough to say, okay, this is how you should go about it. This is how you should go about it. So long as it's within the purview of Islam. When it is al-amru bil ma'ruf wa nahyu 'anil munkar, that is accepted within Islam, then there's no problem in it. Although there's a lot of problem that may come if matters get out of hand. But generally, you know what the Quran says? The Quran says the what we call it, yes, the password, the secret that makes the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to succeed. Listen to this. The secret of the ummah, if you want the ummah to succeed, the Quran says, wa amruhum shura bainahum wa mimma razaqnahum yunfikun. Allah says their matters amongst them is by mutual consultation, mutual advice amongst them. Wa mimma razaqnahum yunfikun, and they spend from what we have given to them, meaning that their wealth of knowledge and experience, they spend it, not only wealth of materials, of money. Mutual consultation. How should we do this one? How do we go about this one? You remember how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sought advice of the believers when they were going for battle of Badr. In fact, there was none of the battles that Prophet didn't ask the companions their advice. What do you think? How should we go about it? What should we do about this? That is the secret of success in life. But like I said, you have to know the right people to ask if you want to be successful. Then the Quran says to the Prophet, Fa'fu anhum. that is for your companions, Ya Rasulullah, fa'fu anhum, pardon them, wastaghfir lahum, and ask Allah's forgiveness for them, washawirhum fil amri, and consult them in matters and in affairs. That means seek their advice. Seek their advice. Allah commanded the Prophet ﷺ to seek advice of the believers. Means that you and I too, we are not left out. We must seek advice from those who can advise us. In fact, Allah Akbar, Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, Uballighukum risalati Rabbi. My job is to convey unto you the message of my Lord, wa ansahu lakum, and to give you sincere advice. Wa a'lam min Allahi ma la ta'lamun, because I know from Allah what you don't know. I know from Allah what you don't know. Allahu Akbar kabira. You see how that works. You see a lot of that in the Quran, here and there, here and there. Remember Bilqis, how she consulted her what do we call viziers and advisors when a letter came to her from Suleiman. She said, Ya ayyuhal malaw aftuni fi amri, give me fatwa, give me advice in this my matter. Ma kuntu qati'atan amran hatta tashhadun. You know, I never took a decision until after you have advised me. That was how a queen or a king can survive. Now, did you notice that we have been mentioning certain words? Now we mention iftuni, that's fatwa. What you people refer to as fatwa is actually advice. Okay, there's a particular matter, what should we do? The fatwa to be given will be advice based on what the kitab and the sunnah have said, and that's how we say ad-din an-Naseehah. The religion is advice all through. They will give you advice. Okay, the prophet did like this, so you should do like this. The prophet took this step, you should take this step. Another word for the advice is shawra, the word called shawra. When the Quran says washawirhum fil amri, do shawra with them. In some languages they use word shawra. Hausa, yes. Which other language they use shawra? I think Yoruba also use shawra. They say let's do shawra. Especially in Hausa, let's do shawra means let's consult, let's discuss, let's advise one another. You see, washawurin fil amr. There's another one, amru bil ma'ruf and nahy anil munkar is a summary. I mean, it's an extensive definition of advice. What's advice? To command what is good and forbid what is evil, or to ordain or to advise on what is good and to forbid what is evil. You see, that is one of the things that what Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam said. He said, wa ansahu lakum, let me give you nasiha. Now if you hear the word nasiha, it means advice. Sometimes we translate to mean sermon. We say the imam is giving a sermon, or someone is giving nasiha. Then sometimes we say khutbah. Khutbah is more towards sermon, but the majority of khutbah is advice. The imam advising the ummah during the khutbah, or when he has mounted the pulpit, the minbar. Are you following me now? I'm just using these words because you are going to come about them in the Quran in one form or the other for you to know that everything, almost everything is advice. Now let me tell you this verse of the Quran. Quran chapter 10 verse 57. Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas. Now listen to this now. Listen. Ya ayyuhan nas, O you mankind. Allah calls the whole of mankind. Qad ja'atkum maw'izatun min rabbikum. Indeed, a good advice has come to you from your Lord. A good advice has come to you from your Lord. Washifa'un lima fi sudur, and the healing for whatever disease of ignorance or doubt or hypocrisy and whatever thing is in your chest. Wa hudan, and guidance. Wa rahmatan, and mercy lil mu'minin, for those who believe. In other words, the whole of the Quran is mo'iza, is wazi. When they say we are going to listen to wazi, or we are going to listen to wazi itself, the way we use in our language, is advice. Yes, let's go and listen to wazi. There's a wazi going on somewhere. Let's go and listen to wazi. Wazi is advice. The whole of Quran is wazi, and the Quran says it is maw'izatun min rabbikum. This is Allah's own advice to all of us. Advice of Allah to us. That's the glorious Quran itself. May Allah let us be among those who follow the advice. May Allah let us be among those who put it to practice. Now for this advice, now generally, let me be general now. You see, even the most stingy of all people, someone who is very stingy, they are not stingy about one thing. They are not stingy about advice. Whenever they have the opportunity to give advice, people love to give advice. In fact, some advice can even be like insult. They say, please don't be silly. That should be an advice, isn't it? Don't be silly. Hey, excuse me, don't be stupid. That's an advice too. It came in a very wrong way. Right? Somebody will say, don't fool yourself. That's an advice too. It came in some ways. Everybody, in fact, almost everybody you know of give advice. Sometimes come in form of warning. Don't even try it. Someone says, don't even, they raise their finger, don't even try it. That's an advice, isn't it? But it came as a threat, it came as a warning, it came as what? Yeah, as an advice too. Advice is advice, but it can come in many colorations. It depends on how you seek the advice that you get the one that you're supposed to get. Very few people ask for advice, very few people accept advice, and very few people are ready to give it in honesty. Many people can give advice, but very few are ready to give it honest, and very few people are ready to accept advice. Some people, when they are advised, they are very defensive. When you advise them, you see them raking and say, how can you tell me that? How can you? Some people don't do well with criticism. So when you want to advise them, you just leave them. Some people, because of too much anger, too much annoyance, nobody comes around to advise them. Because the moment you want to start talking, they start being defensive. They start giving you excuses why they will not follow what you are saying. They start giving you excuses why you are not the one to tell them what to do. Who are you to tell me what to do? You see, he has already pushed you out. And that's why I'm telling you, many husbands today have failed as husbands. Because he doesn't want to hear. Because it is coming from his wife, he doesn't want to hear. Even when this woman is making sense, he doesn't want to listen. The same way with some women. So long as, in fact, if the husband wants her to do something, the husband will tell her best friend and say, Salaam alaikum, please, sorry to disturb you this time. Please, I want you to call your friend. That's his wife. I want to call your friend and please help me advise her about this thing that she wants to do. Sorry, what do you want her to do? I want her to do so and so. Tell her. And then we'll call and say, alright, let me advise you. This thing that you are doing to your husband, it doesn't work well. This thing will not pay you off. That will say, okay, no problem, I will try. Thank God you are the one that said it. Allah Akbar. Now, listen to me now. Whenever we have problems, whenever we have dilemmas, whenever we are confused, we hope for suggestions, we hope for insight, we look for solutions. But the problem is that we are sometimes so focused on what we are asking for, and we neglect who we are asking. Do you understand what I'm saying? We focus more on what we want to ask, but we don't focus on the person that we are asking. Sometimes, no matter how much you ask, if you are asking the wrong person, you don't get a right answer. You see, let me give you some reasons why some people actually get wrong advice. Not that they don't seek advice, but they always get wrong advice. Number one, the way they ask for the question. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, am I seeking for advice or am I asking for validation? What that means is, some people will say they want to ask for advice, but it's a lie. They have already decided what they want to do. They just want to pass it through you so that you tell them. Yeah, many people who want to seek advice, they already made up their mind and they are very stubborn about it. If you don't want her to quarrel with you, just listen to the question and tell her to go ahead. That way you will not waste your time. But if you are trying to say, but this is not correct, this is not, she will argue. Imagine somebody who advises and the person is arguing with you. See trouble. No? The person came for advice and it turns you to an argument. At the end of the day, when you say, no, this is not the right thing to do, she will begin to look at you as an enemy of progress. Now look at it now. I want to do this thing and you are telling me not to do it. When 15 other friends of mine say I should go ahead, only you say I should not go ahead to do it. What kind of a friend are you? Then the person will turn into quarrel. Some people are like that. Now, if you are that kind of a person, be sure you know what you are asking for. Look, don't deceive the person you have gone to seek advice from. Say, this is what I have in mind to do. Is it okay for me to do it or not? That person will now limit you to what you are asking. But if you make it to be that you put it to say, actually, you see, There's one of my friends, that's some people, when they want to seek your advice, they will not say they are the ones. They say, there's one of my friends who said so and so. And I've been thinking of what to say to advise that my friend. What do you think I should advise that friend? People will not even be honest when they're asking for advice. Now somebody comes to ask for advice and this person is not honest. By the time you now say, that your friend that want to do this, tell that your friend that she's stupid. Allah Akbar Kabira. That your friend did that to her husband. Tell that your friend that she will not last in her marriage. In fact, may Allah punish all of the women who behave like that to their husbands. She will never come to you for advice again. You know, she deceived you. Now she will not say, but I am the person. Oh, you are the person. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Actually, then the person will not advise. In other words, don't deceive. They come straight, come clear. Number two, phrase your questions in such a way that the person will understand what to advise you. Now, this is the thing. Now, you say to someone that let me give you one example. Somebody will say, well, I'm having problem with my husband. Listen to me. I'm having problem with my husband and I don't know what to do. That's the question, isn't it? Somebody comes to seek advice, say, I'm having problem with my husband and I don't know what to do. Now, if somebody asks you that kind of question, wanting you to advise, how will you advise the person? Thank you. Number one, you don't know what problem the person has. Number two, you don't know the surroundings of that problem. You don't know the person just advise me, what should I do? I'm having problem with my husband. Should I leave my husband or should I not? Now, somebody is asking that kind of question, they will put you at tight corner. And when they tell you some things that are vague, things that are not real, things that you cannot peg it down, some of them are very crafty. They will ask that question in such a way that you never think they have problem. You think it's their husband that has problem. Or my mother-in-law is coming to visit, or should I allow her to come? Somebody asked you that question. My mother-in-law is coming to visit, should I allow her to come? The thing is, okay, what has been between you and your mother-in-law? For how long is she going to stay? And when she comes, what are the normal problems that you experience? So that you can advise her. She will not go to that detail. Now, if you are asking somebody for advice, make sure the person knows what to say by virtue of the way you ask the question. Framing the question is very important. Number three, when you go to somebody and you want to seek the person's advice, you yourself that want to seek advice, you have to be sure if the person you are asking is relatively objective. Can this person be objective? You understand what I mean? Can this person be objective? Can this person, like the husband who wanted to get married and asked the wife, what's her advice? I want to marry a second wife. What do you advise? Can she be objective? Honestly, maybe she can be objectively subjective. In some way, she will just find a way around it. So beware the kind of person you are. Okay, you go to your boss now. You say, excuse me, my boss, there's a job I found somewhere and they're going to pay me more. What do you advise? Should I resign? And this your boss sees that you are the main breadwinner for that company. What do you think he will advise you? There's a way he will advise you in such a way that you end up continuing to work for him, for one way or the other. Now, you also need to know the person I want to ask for advice from. Is this person an expert? Is this an expert? You have health issues. You are asking a market woman that is selling tomato. You are asking her about a gynecologically related issue. You are asking a wrong person. If you want to know how much a basket of tomato is, you can go and ask that woman. In other words, don't go to where they sell cars and be asking how much is a yard of lace. Don't ask wrong people. Are you asking an expert? Is this person learned enough? If you have legal issues, you should ask a lawyer. You have medical issues, ask a doctor. If your issues are spiritual, ask a learned person. If you want to ask questions about fatwa, about things to do as far as Islam is concerned, ask a person that is truly learned. Now, sometimes not all those who lead you in salat are scholars of Sharia. Right? You agree with me? Not all the malams who lead a salatu knows about Sharia. To say somebody has memorized Juzu Amma and is your imam, is leading salah, doesn't mean that he can give fatwa on issues. And to say that you have free access to the internet doesn't mean that you are now a scholar of Islam. All of this, ask a sheikh, that you ask a sheikh that is not in your environment. This sheikh lives somewhere in Islamabad. Let me use that word for you to understand that there is Islam there, Islamabad. But you are here. Your neighbors right and left are non-Muslims. In fact, your mother is not a Muslim. And you are asking questions about relationship between Muslims and non-Muslims. This person that lives in Saudi Arabia, where he doesn't have many non-Muslims around you, do you think he can give you fatwa on how to relate with the non-Muslims around you? Now, when we ask wrong people, we get wrong fatwa and the whole thing collapses. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Okay, now let me ask you this now. Somebody who has only one wife, he has had one wife for like 25 years. Can you ask him advice about how to handle your 3 wives? He has no idea. He doesn't understand what you are talking about. He may say he has knowledge, but there are aspects where your knowledge will have to give a halt here and bow for those who are more experienced in certain things. Do you understand what I'm saying now? The best person you can seek advice from if you want to travel is your travel agent. Ask them the cost of airfare if you are going by air. Right? Not to go and ask for one man to check for you. If you want to travel for business, ask business people. Please, I want to travel to Indonesia. I have shea butter that I want to sell. How do I go about it? Go to Nigerian Export-Import Bank or these people who are in charge of export promotions. Go to them, they will advise you. Yes, you want to travel with this is what you need, this is what. Go to the right people. Those who are experts, those are the ones you ask. Then the question is, how many people should you ask? Some of us are of the habit of asking 20 people the same question. You now start sampling opinion. Okay, this one said, this one said. At the end of the day, you are even more confused. You ask anyhow. Sometimes it can be nice. Maybe you want to do poll. You want to see, okay, how many people are in support of, how many people are in against. Then at the point you start distributing them into parties. This one is APC, this one is PDP. These people are APGA. This is their advice. These are no. If you make it to be too much, you spend the whole of your life looking for advice, you will not take any action. Then you should also understand what background is necessary. When you are seeking advice, there are certain things you don't need to disclose, and there are certain things you don't need to hide. You have a medical problem, you are talking to a doctor, and the doctor is asking you about suicide, you say that's a no-go area. The doctor says, when was the last time you took this particular drug? You say, no, that's my own private issue. No, you will not get well now. You seek legal advice. The lawyer, the barrister is saying that, okay, this particular issue you are talking about, that article that they said was stolen in your company, when was it stolen? You say, well, I don't know, I don't care. You will not be able to know how to advise when you begin to hide some things. Where were you when so and so called? When you received that call, where were you that day? Say, no, lawyer is not necessary. Forget about that one, because you don't want to say you are with your girlfriend. Say, forget about that one. May Allah have mercy on us. Now, another thing is, I've asked you now, are you asking advice from the right people? I think this is the general thing now. I want to generalize now so that we move ahead. Are you asking advice from the right kind of people? Will you listen to this person's advice? Is this person qualified morally to advise you on what to do? Should this person be allowed to influence your thinking? Can you follow what this person says to direct your life or your destiny? Can you place your destiny in this person's hand and say, advise me? You want to make a definite decision in your life that will determine what happens to you from now on. Can you put that kind of decision in the hand of this person to tell you? Is this person honest? Are you the one feeding this person? Because if you are the one feeding him, if he should tell you the truth, he knows that you not feed him anymore. Can you take advice from this person? Can this person advise you well? Can you trust this person? And you know what Ibn Majah said? He recorded Abu Hurairah said, the Messenger of Allah said, Al-Mustasharu Mu'tamanu. Al-Mustasharu Mu'tamanu. The one whom advice is sought is to be trusted. If you seek advice from someone that you cannot trust, it's a lot of problem. Now there are some people you ask advice from. You ask advice here because he thinks he wants to ask other people's opinion. The whole of your secret is all over the town. Can you ask advice from that kind of a person who will go and tell another person, say, hey, I have this my friend, you know him well, I don't want to mention his name, but you know him very well. He comes to Bainakum. He normally sit in the front row in Bainakum. I don't want to mention his name. You and him were talking the other time now. So that my friend, he has so and so problem. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is the problem he has. So what do you think I should tell him? Now say, I don't know, but let me ask another person. Now we'll ask another person. Now say, I don't know, but let me ask another person. Another person will say, let me discuss with another person. At the end of the day, somebody else will now come and ask you that has a problem that, somebody told me that one of his friends recently has problem with his wife. The wife just delivered a baby and they have problem with the mother-in-law. That will be like, when did they say the person, the baby was it a boy or a girl? A girl now. At the end of the day, this thing begin to resemble you. You'll be like, Yes, subhanallah. Wahala deal. Beware of the kind of people you go and expose your secret to. Because information is the new currency in the world today. Data is the new currency. Once somebody knows much about you, they can sell it for money. They can sell it for money. They can use it to rope you into something. They can use it to give information to armed robbers. Yes, they can do that. They can use it to give information to some corrupt people. Beware. Then there are these people. This one will interest all of you. I don't know if you have met this kind of people before. You see, you have problem, you bring advice. Instead of the person to advise you, the person ends up telling you his own problem that's bigger than your own. Have you seen that before? Yeah, they will dominate the discussion to the extent they say, that is your problem. You have not seen anything. Come and ask me. Let me tell you my own. By the time I don't know if you have seen that before. By the time the person starts, you'll be the one that will be picking, it happened to you, At the end of you forgotten your own problem. You'll be like, talk. This person's problem is bigger than my own. What can he possibly advise you? Say, now let me advise you. No, you say don't worry. No need again. Don't bother to advise me. There are people like that, isn't it? There's some people you bring small matter. By the time they advise you, they blow it out of proportion. You bring a problem that's like a mouse. Before you leave, they turn it to an elephant. They say, wait, Hajjah, tell me again. Which problem did you say you have? That headache has been disturbing me for a while. Sometimes it is here, sometimes it is here. Then my ears used to make some sound. Subhanallah. Who have you offended? They are calling you somewhere. Is your stepmother alive? Is your stepmother still alive? By the time they will rope it to one thing, rope it to another thing, then they say you have spiritual problem, you are going to die any moment from now. You say, I shouldn't have mentioned this into this person. Because they will so do it that they will carry it more than you. You say, so you have this problem and then they will just speak, hello, salam alaikum. See me, see trouble. Hajjah Wani is here in my phone now. She had, take the phone, talk. You say, but I don't want, talk to them, talk. Beware of those kind of people. There are many people like that, I'm telling you, many people. And there are some people and they like gist a lot. If they run out of gist, it's your matter they will use as gist topic. When they're with their friend, they'll say, can you imagine? Somebody came to seek my advice yesterday. Before you know it, they are discussing you. Oh, Allah have mercy on us. No, it's going to be your own fault if you don't know who you are going to seek advice. It's going to be your own big fault. May Allah forgive us. So we have narcissists, those who only care about themselves. We have sadists, those who will make your problem to be, they will make you to be sadder than before because they enjoy that you have that problem. The advice they will give to you will push you more into the problem. I have a problem with my husband. I don't know whether I have to apologize or say apologize. Are you stupid? How will you apologize? If he's a responsible man, he will come and beg you. Don't talk to him. If you call, don't pick his call. You too follow that advice. Your name na divorce. Well, let me leave it at that. There are so many. The point I'm making is your friends and families, all of them may think they have you in mind. They may think they want the best for you, but the problem is that their motives, you don't know their intentions. Some intentions may be good, but they don't know how to advise. Some of them are ignorant. Yes, some of them are ignorant. So when they advise you based on their ignorance. Some of them are very fetish. Some of them are superstitious. The advice they give to you will be based on their superstition. Then some of them have so much fear. You go seek advice that require courage from somebody who has fear. She will say, remember the son of whom you are. Don't even dare, don't even think about you want to what? Don't even think about the fear they have. They will put that fear into your matter instead of giving you courage. They will tie you down with the fear, and then you follow the advice and you remain on the spot forever. Some people have their own faults. Some people have their own failures. Some of them have failed in life. Then you go ask them for advice on how you grow. You will not grow. Ask advice from real people, from correct people, from those who have the knowledge and the experience. You want your business to grow, and you are going to ask somebody who has been selling one particular thing for about 20 years. He has not left the place. You will not get the right advice. Some people have the knowledge. Actually, some people have the knowledge. You can tell, look, see me here. This is what made me to fail you. Don't be like me. Some people can be honest enough. You understand? Some people can be honest enough. In other words, some people may mean well, but their ignorance or their weaknesses will affect what they are going to advise you. There are some people who believe in it is okay like that. Something like mediocrity. You know what I mean by mediocrity? Mediocre people are people who say, no, this thing is okay the way it is. Be satisfied, be contented. Now, in the name of contentment, you become mediocre thinking that you are contented. I don't know if you understand what I mean. There's a very thin line between contentment and mediocrity. The meaning of contentment is content. When something is a content of something, then the content you are put inside is okay as it is. That's what they mean. So you are contented with the content that is put in your container. Now, you understand my English now? Some people cannot think beyond that. So they will tell you, no, it's okay like that. These are terrible advice. In fact, let me tell you more. They will say, no, remain like that. Don't change your job. Maybe that is where you are going to be rich. Don't change your job. And you have been doing this job for 35 years. You have not been able to change from one spot. They will say, no. Stay in that house you are. You don't know whether that is where goodness will come and meet you. Whereas you have opportunities of changing that environment that is pulling you down. There are some environments, if you buy a new car, you will not go and park it there. Because people will kill you with envy. And because you are in that level, people you seek the advice, if there are people of mediocrity, they will tell you to remain like that. Some very, very bad advice that has misled a lot of people. Terrible advice. May Allah save us. It is affecting some people's head up to now as we speak. It is really affecting them. And they feel that is all we can do now, whereas they can do better than that. I want to wrap it up now, finally, about how to give advice to people. For you that give advice to others. Number one, make sure that you are sincere in your advice. Give your advice to people for the sake of Almighty Allah. Number two, ensure that you advise people on knowledge. If you don't have enough knowledge, don't go ahead and mislead somebody. There's no shame when somebody comes to seek your advice and you say, please give me some time to think about it. There's no shame if you say, sorry, I don't know what to say about this matter. There's no shame in saying, sorry, why don't you ask somebody else who knows better than me? In fact, there's no shame in remaining quiet. And in fact, sometimes the person who comes to seek advice didn't want to advise. They just want you to listen to them. And when you have listened to them and you don't know what to say, just pray for them. It is more honorable than for you to start playing Alpha and Omega, all knowing, and you start giving advice wrongly to people. Then you might not be the best to give the advice. You may have to make references and say, go to another person that can advise you. Sometimes what works for you may not work for another person. So stop thinking that you should give advice based on your experience alone. Only one person's experience may not work for other people. What works for a lizard may not work for a crocodile. And what works for a crocodile may not work for a lizard. You don't always have to expect that your advice will be followed. Sometimes advice are not more than just opinions. Now if you advise somebody that they don't follow advice, so leave it, so be it. Don't get angry. Another thing is, if you are advising some people, they may not like criticism. Now if you see that the person you are giving advice to is feeling defensive, just leave them alone. You can't force somebody to accept your advice. You can't impose your advice on anyone, because they have the right either to take your advice or to leave your advice. Another thing you should understand, giving advice is very risky. That's giving advice to somebody else. The same way asking for advice is risky. You may ask for advice and you are misled without you knowing it. And giving advice can be risky. Somebody may ask you advice based on their life situations, and by the time you advise them what to do, they will turn around to come and start blaming you that you are the one that misled them. It's not even for you that say I should leave my husband, whereas that may be the best thing for the person to do. So if you are somebody who give advice, it can bounce back, it can boomerang. Allah Akbar, may Allah have mercy on us. It can actually bounce back. So be expecting the worst. If you are somebody who give advice to people, the advice you give to them may fail, and they turn around and they point fingers to you that this is the person who told me to do it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to deny it? They say, hey, excuse, are you the one that said so and so person should do? Don't you know you are very stupid to have told him to do that? It is not that you deliberately misled the person. You gave the advice based on the information the person gave to you, and the person will go and try it at home, and it will bounce back, and they will say you are the one. Those of us who do counseling, it has happened to us a lot of times. You advise a couple, you say, okay, do it this way. By the time they go and do it, it boomerangs, and they say, Abdulfattah, you see what you told us to do the other time. Actually, in fact, we are so disappointed. You'll be like, excuse me, what did you tell me you wanted? I told you based on what you told me. Because the hadith says, Fahkum bima zohara. Judge by what's apparent, judge by what you are told. And if anybody should withhold information from you, it's not your fault anymore. But you know that it's a very risky thing. It's a very, very risky thing. And when you advise people, also pray for them that Allah should guide them aright. I think that one is a very important one. May Allah make it easy for us and continue to guide us aright. May Allah forgive me and forgive you too. And all of these things I've been saying are still advice. You are on your own to follow what is best in it. We hear of الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَ. The Quran says there are some people who listen to words and they follow the best part of it. So you have listened to the advice, now it's left for you to follow the best out of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Welcome to a place where we celebrate your greatness and nurture your path to even greater accomplishments. Acquire Abdulfattah Adeyemi's soul-lifting handmade masterpieces and experience the divine beauty of Islamic artistry. Join the community. Transform your life. Edit your universe.